Crypto Trader is proudly brought to you by eToro. Discover a simpler way to trade and invest in cryptocurrencies and more.
Coinbase buys earn.com. Prominent ICO investor Ian Bellina gets hacked for over $3 million. Muslim clerics declare Bitcoin compliant in terms of Sharia law. And Pornhub starts accepting Verge. Those are your headlines, and you're watching Crypto Trader on CNBC Africa. The primary principle behind any blockchain project is, of course, decentralization. The distributed ledger technology has not only allowed for decentralization of computing power, but also for decentralization of contribution to projects. If this experiment in decentralization is successful, the blockchain revolution will go down in history as a revolution where people came together from different countries, languages, skills, in an informal way to disrupt almost every industry in the world. But for a community that prides itself on decentralization, the crypto community sure does centralize a lot. They meet for conferences at the most exotic destinations. This week, we're centralizing at a destination that has all the makings for a perfect crypto conference. A hub for new money not only from the Gulf area, but from the rest of the world too. Home to some of the best hotels, the best restaurants, the trendiest nightclubs, and 7-lane highways that are fit for any sports car. So on a week where the Muslim clerics declared investing in Bitcoin compliant in terms of Sharia law, we find ourselves in the crypto mecca that is Dubai. There was an announcement that the Bitcoin is now halal or compliant with Sharia law. Do you think that that's going to drive the Bitcoin price up?
Oh, really? Yeah, I heard about it when we were coming to this show, to the World Blockchain Forum. And what I'm thinking is that the regulations are finally becoming like more benign.
Do you think that makes a difference to the price of Bitcoin?
I think everything that is a positive like that, an acceptance, is going to be positive for the Bitcoin worldwide.
The price will definitely go up. It's just a matter of time.
Or do you think that this is going to open a new market for Bitcoin?
Absolutely, because always anything that includes interest, and that is prohibited in Islam, and Bitcoin doesn't include any kind of interest in this. So only the lending platforms that are providing kind of interest to only. Those will be affected with this, but other platforms that are not providing any kind of interest, that's just kind of an investment where you are into profit sometimes, you are into loss sometimes. So absolutely, a lot of Muslim countries will be dealing in that kind of, will be investing in that kind of stuff.
Last week, a prominent Muslim cleric declared Bitcoin compliant in terms of Sharia law and effectively opened up the market to 1.6 billion Muslims who were unsure whether they could invest in Bitcoin or not invest in Bitcoin. Now, this move came as Bitcoin went from $7,000 to $8,000 and broke through all the technical levels to put us back into the bullish territory after a 3-month bear market. Mr. Korean Jew, or Jake,
yes.
Is this what caused the price to go up from 7,000 to 8,000?
I think in some regard, yes. This is sensational news. It is not to be underestimated. 1.8 billion new investors into our market, plus a heightened sense of awareness. However, I do think also the culmination or ending of the U.S. tax season on just passed, we were one catalyst away from getting back into this bullish territory, and lo and behold, this new news is really something that's driving the price at this point.
Are we over the bear run that started in January, February?
Well, I believe we are on the verge of starting a new uptrend. However, the next few weeks or so, in my opinion, you'll see some sideways action.
Well, let's not talk about Bitcoin anymore. Let's talk about some of the other coins. What are your favorite coins that you're watching at the moment?
Okay, Yuan Chain is really kind of the crown jewel. I believe this project has the ability to break into the top 15, top 10 market cap tokens.
Now, why is Yuan Chain such an important token in the token ecosystem?
The Yuan Chain is going to address a lot of issues as far as interoperability. They're partnered with Icon and Aeon, which are two also outstanding projects, and they're going to allow for people to move funds directly through the Yuan chain, build on top of Yuan chain on different blockchains, but all using Yuan. So for instance, you could send Ethereum and directly to Bitcoin on Yuan. And it's a really a new concept that we're going to have to see how they execute, but I believe the team is strong enough to pull it off.
Now, Bitcoin went up to over $8,000. The alts had a great spike as well. In fact, if you look at the percentages, the alts went up much faster than Bitcoin went up.
Yes.
Is this going to be alt season again?
Well, that is the billion-dollar question per se. Alts, the purpose of investing in alts is to always accumulate more Bitcoin, at least in my opinion. And what you saw last year around December was Bitcoin spiked up to 19K and alts took a hit. And everybody's, oh, my alts, my alts. Then when Bitcoin retraced down to 14,000 and stayed in that range, the alts had a big party. So it's curious to know what will happen first. Will alts go up first or will Bitcoin go up first? I think the best approach is to take a modified portfolio allocation where you're holding some Bitcoin as well as your alts. But looking at alts now, I would say the sellers are starting to dry up. So it's a great opportunity to get into some alts.
We've had selling season for about 3 months now, and I always thought that the sellers were drying up because you could see that the bulls were keeping the price up and they wouldn't let
There's certain levels that certain coins will not go under. So for instance, you're asking about altcoins. There's one that's a tremendous opportunity. It's called Luxcoin. This is an American privacy coin that when you compare it to other privacy coins like Verge, Monero, Z Classic, which now became Bitcoin Private, these are billion-dollar market caps, huge projects. Luxcoin is only at 10 million, and it's a combination of basically Dash and Ripple, which is giving privacy to banks. Now Luxcoin, if you follow Twitter, John McAfee just kind of tweeted them in a public way. So you have McAfee who supported Verge. I think at 10 million market cap, Lux has amazing upside.
What other tokens are you looking at?
I am looking at Icon, of course, the Korean Ethereum. Korea is a market that's democratic. They're very pro-crypto. They have an election coming up where any politician who is to go against crypto, that's a death sentence for them. Icon is such a fantastic project, partnered with the biggest companies, universities, and hospitals in Korea. In my opinion, there's no doubt that this thing doesn't go to the moon.
Let's take a look forward into 2018 or towards the end of 2018. How do you see this year ending off for crypto?
I think we're going to have a phenomenal end of the year. One thing to take note of is in July, G20 did issue the statement that they have to nail this regulation. So I think going into July, there may be some fear in the market. That would be a good time to reload. But once we kind of hit our stride in Q3, early Q4, I think we're just going up.